for every 1 unit increase in whatever our x variable is, the predicted y variable will increase or decrease by whatever our slope is, units. All right, I know that doesn't make any sense right now. It's fine. Just going to write it down. And we also have a y-intercept in context. Which states when our x variable is 0, the predicted y variable will be whatever our y-intercept is, units. All right, so I'm going to show you what all this means. All right, so we're gonna get a set, you get a set of data, right? Okay, so in this case, I'm gonna compare the boy's height in this class to the boy's weight. Okay, not trying to height shame or body shame anybody. Okay, that's me, 6 feet, 170 pounds. Will, how tall are you? 5'2". How much do you weigh? 115. Lucas?
5'9".
How much do you weigh?
150.
Logan? All right. else I got? Ian, how tall are you? 5'10"? How much you weigh? 130, 35. Okay. And the Justice? 107. We gotta get you a steak or something, buddy. All right. Anybody else? Oh, we got one more. How tall are you? I got you. 6 foot 160. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So first thing you would do, and I'm just going to kind of sketch this. Okay. Okay, is make what we call a scatter plot. Okay, so let's say our boy's height is going to be our x-axis. And let's say our boy's weight is going to be the y-axis. Okay, doesn't need to be perfect. I'm just going to kind of make some points just to give us an idea here. Okay. I honestly am just literally going to make up some points. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter right now, for the sake of argument. Okay. So if we make a scatter plot, our height in inches, our weight in pounds, okay. So what we would do is we would take and we would find a line that is essentially the average of all those points. Okay, and what this is called is Lsrl, which stands for least squared regression lines. And again, I understand this doesn't make any sense right now. I'm just going to have to take my word for it. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this line, okay, to make predictions. Okay, so we're going to use this computer program, okay, that's basically going to do all the work for us. Okay, and I've posted a link to it, okay, on Schoology as well. It's called Staplet. Okay, let's see if I can get it on the screen for you. Hold on. Go. Okay, so it's called Staplet up here in the URL. Okay, the link is in the folder for Unit 4 as well. Okay, so now I'll go back, I'll show you how to use it. But I've plugged in my height. Okay, for the first category, I've plugged in the numbers we got. Okay, then I plugged in weight for the second one, and I'm gonna click this begin analysis button. Okay, so it gives an actual stat plot here that is accurate, or scatter plot, excuse me. So you have that. Okay, so that's neat. Okay, but what do we do with this information? Well, we're gonna click on calculate, okay, least squared regressions line, okay, and now it gives me this line, okay, and it gives me the equation for that line, which is the most important part. Okay, so write that down in your notes, this part right here under equation. Okay, notice that it's got a Y with a little hat on top. And all that means is predicted. All right, so it gives us this least squared regression lines right here. Okay, notice it's in the form y equals mx plus b. Okay, it's just that the slope is written second for whatever reason, doesn't really matter. Okay, but here's our slope and here's our y-intercept. So that's the equation of this line that was given to us. Okay, that's gonna give us the predicted amount. So now if we want to talk about the slope in context, okay, so it says for every 1 unit increase in our x variable, okay, well, that's our height. So we say for every 1 inch increase in height, the predicted y variable, in this case, weight, will, and it's going to increase because the slope is positive, by, our slope is 5.7877 units, which is pounds. Okay, so all you're doing is you're taking what the slope is for this predicted line, this least squared regressions line. Okay, and essentially it's stating that for every 1 unit increase in height, okay, the predicted weight will increase by about almost 6 pounds. Okay, which makes sense, right? You grow an inch, you add 6 pounds. Okay, it's not far-fetched, makes sense. Okay, and again, that's just taking the average of all the boys in the room, their height and their weight. Okay, now other Will is in here, right? 6'5", probably 200 and something pounds. Okay, that's going to skew our data a little bit. It'll change the numbers. Okay, so we're just dealing with the guys that are in here. Okay, and then we do the same thing with the y-intercept. Okay, well, my y-intercept is negative 256. So we say when our x variable, in this case height, is 0 inches, okay, the predicted y variable, in this case pounds, the weight, the predicted weight will be, our y-intercept is negative 256. Pounds. All right, so notice the y-intercept in context. It kind of rarely makes sense. I guess not rarely, it just doesn't always. All right, and that's fine. Okay, because y-intercept in context is stating that if somebody was 0 inches tall, they weighed negative 256 pounds. Right? You can't be 0 inches tall, and you also can't weigh negative 256. So it doesn't make sense in this context, and that's okay. All right. So what I would like you to do is mostly everybody's sitting next to somebody. Yeah, and even numbers today. Okay, so on the assignment sheet on Schoology, let's see. Trying to cast this as well. So let's do this. On Schoology, hold on. On the hard copy or the digital copy of the assignment sheet, so we go to unit 4 assignment sheet. Okay, on the bottom, after it, there's some practice problems, 4.1 and like 4.2 or something like that. Okay, I want you to find that. Looks like this. Some of the assignment sheet. Okay, so working with a partner, I want one person to open up the assignment sheet. Okay, one person to open up the assignment sheet and another person to open up the Staplet. Okay, so they're both on Schoology in the Unit 4 folder. Okay, so one person open up Staplet, the other person open up. So talk to your neighbor, ask which one are you going to open? What's that? I'll show everybody here in a second. Okay, does everybody have one or the other open? Joel, say you guys need help or computer died? Okay. So for the person that has Staplet open, okay, the one we're going to be using is the two quantitative variables. Let's see. Okay, the two quantitative variables right here. Okay, and I want you to plug in the data for that first problem, for the horsepower and the miles per gallon. Okay. So first one, horsepower, 197, 70. All right, I'll give you a second, but your data should look like mine up on the board. Don't need to click anything else just yet. So once you've got all that data in, you should have 10 of each. Okay, if you click begin analysis, okay, it'll give you the scatter plot, which is great. Look at that. Points on the graph. That's fun. Okay, but that doesn't really help us with anything just yet. Okay, we want to go down to where it says calculate least squares regression line. Okay, and that's going to give us all the good stuff. We got residuals, which we'll get to later in the chapter. Okay, here's that line we were looking for. Looks beautiful. Okay, but most important, here's that equation we want. Okay, y hat equals 23.0423. Okay, and or minus 0.0236x. All right. So I'm just writing this down for myself. So talk to your neighbor, okay, or neighbors, okay, and write down the the slope in context and the y-intercept in context. Okay, using that same template. All right, so who's feeling smart for the slope in context? Lucas? Say it a little slower. So for every 1 horsepower, good. So for every 1 horsepower, the predicted miles per gallon will decrease. Okay, why'd you use decrease? Because the slope's negative, right? Okay. So for every 1 horsepower added, okay, the predicted miles per gallon will decrease by 0.0236. Okay, how about the y-intercept in context? Miss Hannah, what do you think? What is the unit on the x-axis here? HP, horsepower, right? I got a little bit different numbers. So one of us wrote the wrong numbers down. I'm not saying it was you, it's probably me. But yeah, when HP is 0, the predicted miles per gallon will be 23.0423. That's what I got. You got something a little different. Said you were probably right. I was probably wrong. Okay, which makes sense. You have a car that's got 0 horsepower. You're going to get a lot of miles per gallon because, well, it doesn't take a lot to run it. Okay.